were saying about the Detroit club having so many youngsters, actually, Bill, they've got as many men 30 or over as the Leafs. We were looking at the roster there. They have 4 youngsters who have been outstanding, and you'll see them from here on.
Okay, Keith, and it looks to me, anyway, by looking around the Olympia tonight, this may be an all-time record because they're all jammed in the aisles now on this first balcony, and, of course, we can't see above us. And from the face-off, Eddie Joyelle knocked the puck into the Leaf zone, and Alan Stanley picks it off. Off the boards for Stewart by Pulford to center. Then it's Stanley moving up over with Eamon. They're closing in. There's the shot. Stanley took a whack at it. It's cleared right in front. Goes to the corner. And it's cleared down the ice by Joyelle. It's going over the red line. Horton back for it to touch it. Icing will be called against Detroit.
Well, Terry Sawchuk's at it again. He did that to Dave Keon early in the last game, and the Leafs had another great chance there, and somehow he got in front of them. What a series he's having.
And the face-off is to the right of that Detroit goal. And Doug Barkley is facing off with Bob Pulford, number 20, the Leafs in white, the Red Wings in their red uniforms. Detroit to the right, the Leafs to the left, and it's back to Stanley. There's a shot, knocked down by Barkley. It goes out over the line. Eddie Joyelle, stopped by Horton. Ran into the Detroit player, knocking him down, Andre Pronovo, and it's Ron Stewart. Long pass for Jerry Eamon, and shot it into the Detroit zone. Bruce McGregor fell. Marcel Pronovo off the boards for Andre Pronovo. Here's a chance for Eamon. There's a shot. Shot. Pulford trying to get the rebound. Marcel Pronovo checked. It's against the boards, and there's no further play.
Well, the scriptwriter has it going the way you called it, Bill. You said, watch these Leafs the first few minutes of the game. They'll be all over the Red Wings, and that's just the way it's going. In fact, we should have recorded your pregame comments because I think you're the scriptwriter.
All set to go. Yeah, the Leafs start fast, but the Red Wings seem to be able to hold them and then come on themselves. All set to go. Elman facing off against Keon. Back to Brewer. Brewer shot it in. Knocked down by Gadsby into the corner. Gadsby after it behind the net. Cleared it off the boards. Gadsby with it a pass to Elman. Over on the right wing, intercepted by Brewer. Brewer shoots it back in, a long shot. Sawchuk carrying it off to Langlois. Langlois brings it out to the blue line. A long pass over here to Jeffrey. Over the blue line, going right in on goal. He shot wide. Here's another shot. Right to Jeffrey, and he hit the side of the net. Larry Jeffrey cleared it back to the blue line. There was nobody there. Bill Gadsby back to Al Langlois. Again, number 2, ahead to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, number 14, at center. Here they come over the line. A shot. Bauer stopping it. Jeffrey after it again. Right in front of Ullman. He shoots it, and Vaughn fell in front of it. Another shot. And Bauer knocked that off to the side as the Red Wings pour it on. Armstrong can't get out. Keon overskates it. Vaughn shoots it down the ice, and Langlois goes back for it. It's over the red line, but there was a man in position, so play goes right on. A long pass to center. Kelly stops it, flips it back. Langlois with a number 2. Over here to Jeffrey, over the blue line. And his pass stopped by Vaughn. Kept in by the Red Wings, and Bathgate gets out. A long pass to Kelly to Mahavlich. Over the line, there's the shot. Sawchuk holds out. It's in the circle there where Alex Del Vecchio gives it to Doug Barkley. Up to Gordie Howe, a pass for Parker McDonald, stopped by Mahavlich. He missed a check from Marcel Pronovo. Doug Barkley, a pass, stopped by Kelly to Mahavlich, and he passed it to Barkley. Then it goes to Mahavlich, tried to center it, and then Alex Del Vecchio takes it, number 10. His pass to Parker McDonald, down the ice at center, over the blue line with Howe. Howe missed it, and Mahavlich poked it away from him. Ahead to Bathgate. Parker McDonald checks Mahavlich, then Bathgate is checked by Marcel Pronovo, shot it in. Horton in the corner, slap pass to Stanley. Off the boards. Kelly failed to get it out. Horton shot it right on Del Vecchio's stick. Del Vecchio centered it. Stanley poked it to the blue line, but not out. Gets it again. Shot it off the boards. Kelly gets it out. Gordie Howe, number 9. At center. Takes a long backhand that's wide. Andy Bathgate, number 9, back for it. Flip pass from Mahovlich, slid by him to center. Johnny McMillan shoots it in. Del Vecchio was way inside. It goes out over the line from Horton on the delayed whistle. Del Vecchio went down. Howe gets it over the line with McMillan and Del Vecchio. A flip pass for Alex Del Vecchio. Bathgate covers him. He shot it across in front. Howe lets the shot go, a weak one. Mahovlich shot it off the boards. It was out and in again, outside.
Well, there's no arguing about that offside. It was a foot or so offside. The Toronto Maple Leafs pretty well represent the province of Ontario. 12 of their players are natives of Ontario. Most of them now, of course, are resident of metropolitan Toronto. The Red Wings are pretty well spread across about 6 of the provinces in Canada.
Face off outside the blue line. Pitt Martin with Johnny McMillan and Paul Henderson. Pitt Martin, checked by Pulford. It's over the line for Henderson. Tried to center it. Goes to the board. Stewart cleared it behind the net to the far wing. Bond cleared it. Heyman knocked it out to Pulford at center. Down the ice he goes, over the line. Closing in with Stewart. Takes his shot, and that was hit Langlois. McMillan was bumped. And Eman ran into the Detroit player, and it's going to be a penalty here to Eman. Eman of the Leafs will get a penalty. The first penalty of the game going to Jerry Eman, number 8.
Penalties haven't had that much bearing, that is, as far as the team with the manpower advantage scoring is concerned. It seems almost to work in reverse.
4:40 is the time, a boarding penalty to Eman. He's in the penalty box. And it's Narmy Elman, number 7, Larry Jeffrey, number 14, Floyd Smith is 17, Del Vecchio 10, Howe, number 9, Pulford is 20 for the Leafs, Stewart, number 12, Brewer, number 2, and Vaughn, number 21. Martin seemed to hurt his wrist when he went into the boards, and they're over patching him up. It goes back to Gordie Howe, over here to Del Vecchio, number 10. Back to Howe, who fell, gets up again, shoots it and hits Vaughn, and it's shot down the ice by the Leaf player. Dachuk behind the net to Gordie Howe. Howe coming out with a pass to Ullman, bounced too far for him. Ron Stewart lifts the backhand right to Howe. Howe back to Jeffrey. Over the line, Pulford gets it out to Stewart, and Stewart shot it down on a backhand down the ice. Alex Del Vecchio. A pass ahead to Smith. At center, a long shot into the Leaf zone. Bauer got the rebound off the board. Bond to Pulford, and it went by and down the ice. Gordie Howe back for it. Shot by Pulford, and Del Vecchio's there to cover up. Alex Del Vecchio, a pass to Floyd Smith, ahead to Howe, with Jeffrey over the blue line into Leaf territory. Jeffrey shoots it. Hit Bauer on the pad and went bouncing up into the crowd.
Well, the Red Wings, of course, realize that if they really want to win the Stanley Cup, I think they know they have to do it here in Detroit tonight. If Toronto wins this game, then on their own home ice in front of that rabid garden crowd, it'll just give them a tremendous lift, and I think they'd be very big odds-on favorites to win.
Ready for the face-off to Del Vecchio. The shot was wide. Floyd Smith went after the rebound. Stanley knocked it behind the net. Horton helps him out, gets away from Packer McDonald, goes straight up the ice at center, pass over for Keon on the left wing. Keon stopped, backhands it into the corner. Packer McDonald, number 20, back for it. Pass off the boards to Ullman, back to Del Vecchio at center. Keon partially took it away from him, but Ullman carries over the line. Passes it over here to Del Vecchio. A shot was wide. Ullman at the blue line. His shot hit Stanley. Howe tried to get a whack at it. Eman is back on the ice. It came in front. Eman tried to get it out. Howe shot it. Howard stopped the Packer McDonald. Shot wide. Another shot hit the side of the net. Eman off the boards for Armstrong. Stopped by Del Vecchio. It's Smith with it. Here's the shot, right across the goal mouth. Del Vecchio's drive hit Armstrong. Clearing pass for Keon, and it went by him down the ice over the red line. Alvin back to touch it. Icing is called against the Maple Leafs, and they're the Red Wings flying all on that lead goal.
Well, they couldn't beat Johnny Bauer, who was just as good as he had to be in those close melees in front of that Detroit net.
We've played 7 minutes and 10 seconds of the first period. There's no score. Joyelle out there with Andre Pronovo. Bruce McGregor, number 16, coming out. Joyelle's 21. Andre Pronovo, number 15. Mahavlich with Kelly and Bathgate. It comes to Doug Barkley. The shot is wide. It hit the side of the net. Bruce McGregor trying to center it. Brewer gets it. Then was checked. It came right in front of the net. Andre Pronovo was shot, and Bauer holds on to it.
Well, maybe this is Johnny Bauer's night to be hot, Bill. He has been tremendous. The traffic around that Toronto net in the last 2.5, 3 minutes has been fantastic, and he's been just great.
On the face-off, Frank Mahavlich at his own blue line to center. With Kelly over the line, back to Mahavlich, back to Kelly, right through his leg. Eddie Joyelle bringing it back for Detroit to center. Long shot. Near the Leaf goal, Bauer flipping it to Brewer. Ahead for Mahavlich. He kicks it out on the left wing, goes after it. Marcel Pronovo hit Kelly. Kelly gets it loose. And he failed to get by Barkley. Joyelle, a pass to Bruce McGregor. And he shot it into the Leaf zone. Bob Bond given a rough ride by Bruce McGregor. A pass to Mahavlich. Mahavlich to Kelly. Chopped it over the line. Bathgate goes after it. Andre Pronovo beats him to it. Along the board. Andre Pronovo holds it there, and referee Vern Buffy calls the play. We're now at the 8:15 mark of the first period, no score.
And the only changes in this Leaf team from last year's championship team, of course, are Bathgate and McKinney. McKinney's out. Pappen and Eamon. One of the changes, Johnny McMillan, of course, was with him last year. He's now on the other side of the bench.
All set for the face-off. Mahavlich facing off with number 4, Bill Gadsby. Flip back for Alex Del Vecchio, number 10. He's out there with Howe and Packer McDonald. Packer McDonald just flicks it out to center ice. Carl Brewer shoots it back. A long shot. Harry Sawchuk kicked it out. Now it's Gordie Howe's turn. Brewer stopped him. To Kelly. Kelly flicked it, and it's stopped by Gadsby. Ahead to Howe, over here to Del Vecchio, and he's checked. Bathgate goes over the line. Langwall gets a piece of him, gets it out over the blue line. Red Kelly for Mahavlich. Gadsby stopped Mahavlich. Play is called, and there's going to be a penalty there. Gadsby. Gadsby of Detroit gets the gate. Likely for tripping. It's only the second penalty of the game so far. That makes them one apiece. Howard charges. .48. Charging penalty to Gadsby.
Might explain to the folks across the country, Bill, that periscope arrangement used to see the clock is really something. It's like a thing we used to use to watch the King and Queen from the back row.
That's right. Okay, from the face-off, it's Horton with it at center. Over for Billy Harris. Knocked by Barkley out to center. Keon went for a pull. Stanley moves up. He flips it in. Johnny McMillan races in to cover up for the Red Wings, number 12. Harris steps into him. Keon gets it back to Stanley. Stanley passes it to Keon. Keon right in front to Harris. Oh, Terry Sawchuk stopped that hot fly. And it goes down the ice. Terry Sawchuk stopped that one from point-blank range off Billy Harris. George Armstrong. And Horton overskated his back pass. Martin starts out again. Coming up the center. Here's his long shot. Sawchuck caught it. To McMillan. Cleared it around on the board. Stanley back at the blue line. Shot it back for Harris. Barkley took him out. Armstrong centered it right in front. McMillan checked by Horton. His shot right in front. It knocked off to the side. Armstrong clears it around to Stanley. Stanley over to Horton. Here goes the shot. That was wide. Stanley lets it go, and that's wide. Billy Harris races after it. Puts it loose to Keon. Keon to Harris. And his shot hit Barkley, and it knocked down the ice. Back goes Horton for it. He's changing on the go. No score in the game as Horton gets up with a long shot. Sawchuck steered it to the side. Bruce McGregor along the boards. He's checked. Eamon gives it to Stanley. There's his shot. That's wide. Horton comes and lets one go, and that was deflected wide. Stanley lets one go to Pulford. It's wide. To Armstrong in the corner. Back to Horton. There's his shot, and Eamon deflected it way wide. Hellman clears it down the ice. Howard stops it as Gadsby gets back on the ice. Teams are at full strength. No score. Pulford to center. A long shot. Sawchuck caught it. Clearing into the corner. Back up to the blue line of Joyelle. Over to Bruce McGregor and Gadsby. Gadsby for McGregor. Brewer steps in front. Takes the puck to safety behind the net. Brewer to Vaughn. Vaughn with Stewart and Eamon and Pulford. A long shot. Sawchuck stopped it. Bruce McGregor got back. Handed it right to Stewart. Stewart's shot came right in front of the net. Eamon missed it. Brewer pokes at it. Knocked down by Gadsby. Clearing pass to Joyelle up at center. Over the line with Andre Pronovo. Shot out to center. Eamon over to Pulford. Pulford checked by Lal Langlois, number 2. His pass hit Paul Henderson, and Pulford took it away from him and shot it back into the Detroit zone. Hamlich is on the ice. Henderson let it roll to center ice. And Brewer shoots it back. Right to Sawchuck. Langlois carrying it up to Joyelle at center. Up with Henderson over the line. They're closing in together, and Henderson just failed to break through. Mahavlich at his own blue line, now to center. Coming up to the Detroit line, and he failed to go through. Stanley moves up. Pass for Mahavlich again. He couldn't control it. Neither could Langlois, but Andre Pronovo does. He takes a long shot. Bauer stops it. Shoots it off to the wing to Kelly. Kelly being watched by Paul Henderson. Kelly a long pass for Bathgate. Over for Mahavlich. Gadsby covered him. Delvecchio is now on the ice, and Kelly comes back for the Leafs with a long shot right to Sawchuck. Al Langlois to Gordie Howe. Mahavlich stopped it and shot it to the far wing. There was nobody there. Bathgate after Packer McDonald. He lost it to Mahavlich. Then Gordie Howe gets in quickly to Gadsby behind the net. Bill Gadsby shoots it off the boards for Delvecchio. A little too far for him. It goes over the red line. Stanley will touch it, and we have played 13 minutes and 20 seconds of this first period. No score, Keith.
Well, the crowd here have already had their money's worth in sensational play. The 39-year-old Johnny Bauer at one end and 34-year-old Terry Sawchuck at the other. They talk about youngsters, but these two veterans have been the show.
And we have a face-off in the Detroit zone to the left of Terry Sawchuck. Mahavlich and Marcel Pronovo will face off together. Number 3, Marcel Pronovo. Doug Barkley moved into the circle. Mahavlich with Kelly and Bathgate, Horton and Stanley. And it's Delvecchio, Howe, Packer McDonald, Doug Barkley, and Marcel Pronovo as Delvecchio comes down to center for Detroit. Pass to Howe. Here's the shot, wide. Marcel Pronovo keeps it in there for Detroit. He's getting set. The shot is deflected wide into the corner. Howe, watched by Kelly, and Mahavlich is back. Mahavlich to Kelly, stopped by Doug Barkley. His shot is wide. Packer McDonald lets one go. It's right in front, and Delvecchio just failed to get a drive. Stanley to Horton. Horton around on the boards for Kelly. Up for Mahavlich, and it was too far. And Stanley to Mahavlich, and Mahavlich was going off the ice. Gordie Howe to Alex Delvecchio. A long shot. Howard stopped it, and now Jim Papin is on the ice for the first time in the game, number 18, with Bathgate. Long pass for Papin at center, and Doug Barkley poked it away from him. Packer McDonald fell. Here's a chance for Papin. His shot hit Marcel Pronovo. Packer McDonald gets it out to center. Stanley over here to Keon. Got it over the line. Brewer comes out now with Vaughn. Ullman with Jeffrey and Howe, and Howe is being replaced by Smith. Long pass for Armstrong. Went on to Marcel Pronovo. He shot it out. Jim Papin clears it in on a delayed whistle. Marcel Pronovo gets it out to Smith. Smith ahead to Ullman. Ullman backhands it into the lead zone. Bauer had to stop it. Bond back, number 21. A shot for Armstrong. Stopped by Jeffrey. Ullman, and he shot wide. Jeffrey went after the rebound. It's right in front of the net. Keon gets a hold of it. There's going to be a penalty here to Vaughn to the loose. Should be holding for Bob Vaughn. We'll wait for it officially. Here's the penalty. A holding penalty. Yes, 15-10 is the time. There's no score in the game. At the 15-10 mark of this first period, the Leafs will be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. And it's Ullman with Floyd Smith, Larry Jeffrey, Irv Spencer, number 11, and Bill Gadsby, number 4. Anxious to find out just what the crowd is tonight. They're jammed everywhere here at the Olympia in Detroit. On the face-off, Brewer flipped it but not out. Spencer's shot was wide. The rebound to Pulford. He fanned on it. Ullman, a pass for Smith. Centered it. Hillman knocked it to the blue line. It was out and in by Gadsby offside.
They're not hesitating on the offsides tonight. I think the officials are aware of the public reaction on close calls and probably have had a little huddle about that close one the other night.
Delvecchio and Howe move out on the defense now, so there's 5 forwards for the Red Wings as they play a man advantage, 6 men to 5. Play to Gordie Howe over here to Alex Delvecchio, number 10. Back to Ullman over the line to Howe. Howe stopped by Brewer. Brewer a flip pass for Stewart. Took his shot, and Sawchuk grabs it, throws it into the corner. Play is called, and the faceoff will be in the Detroit zone to the right.
And the Leafs had the very good opportunity there. Sawchuk seemed to lose that puck off his gloved hand for a moment, and that mask may obscure the vision of the puck at his feet. I don't know. Certainly he's playing well enough that it doesn't matter.
Now Doug Barkley comes out. Keith mentioned to you earlier that he's playing under strenuous conditions tonight. He's been hurt. Doug Boyle was going to start tonight. Now it's Jeffrey, who also was injured, coming down the ice. Over the line, Stewart after. Ullman back to Doug Barkley, the shot, and that's wide. Smith taken out by Horton. Pulford against the boards. And it's held there long enough for a face-off. Horton and Ullman. Nearly had a bit of a mix-up there. And I guess, Keith, in this kind of a series, you don't have any injuries.
Well, there's no point in holding back anybody who may be better next Sunday because that's it. There is no next Sunday. The Leafs are starting to show that tenaciousness that is their trademark on this penalty. They're really turning on the heavy work.
From the face-off, it's loose, and Armstrong cleared it down between Barkley and Marcel Pronovo. Barkley gets a hold of it, though. Horton then flicked it loose as it was a bad pass. Keon knocked out of the play. Armstrong gets over the line. Larry Jeffrey stepped in to take it away from the Leaf captain, and it's Jeffrey, a pass ahead to Smith, back to Marcel Pronovo, and he couldn't reach it. Over to Smith again. Back to Doug Barkley. Up here to Larry Jeffrey. Jeffrey's pass to Doug Barkley. Back to Larry Jeffrey. Over the line, and Keon shoots it down the ice. Marcel Pronovo goes back, number 3. Stewart and Fulford come out. Marcel Pronovo, a pass on the right wing to Normie Elman. Over the line, he's stopped by Stanley. Stanley and Fulford going down together. Over the line, a pass to Fulford. He scores! Fulford from Stanley. With Vaughn in the penalty box. One to nothing for the Maple Leafs. $17:01, I believe, is the time. Here it is. $17:01 is the time. Vaughn in the penalty box. Back to Gadsby. Now then, Vaughn back on the ice. The teams are at full strength, and Gordie Howe turns in his own zone. A long backhand up to Del Vecchio. Del Vecchio turns. A pass to Parker McDonald. Coming up the center. Over the line. Fulford gets in and flips it down the ice. Icing is the call against the Maple Leafs, and the faceoff goes back into the Toronto zone to the right.
On the replay of that goal, they'll really get a close-up view of a tremendous craftsman, Bobby Fulford, combining with the veteran Alan Stanley for one of his trademark goals.
Fulford from Stanley at 17:01. From the face-off, Gordie Howe, the draw to Al Langlois. His shot hit Bathgate. He's got it again. Over here to Bill Gadsby. Here comes the drive, and that was just off the target. Carl Brewer, bumped by Howe. Havlich flicks it out to center. A pass goes into the Leaf zone again, and Bathgate's after it. Bathgate ahead to Mahavlich. For Kelly, it went behind him into the Detroit zone, and Gadsby's back there for it, number 4. Gadsby flicks it off the boards to center. Bob Vaughn traps it, takes a long shot wide. Red Kelly trying to center it, but there was Gordie Howe. Number 9, a pass to Parker McDonald. McDonald watched by Bathgate, gets away from him. Clearing pass to Del Vecchio. Vaughn ran into Del Vecchio, and down went Vaughn. Now it's Mahavlich over the line. A pass for Kelly, dragged it through with a skate, but it was wide. Then Howe stepped into Red Kelly and knocked him off stride. Clearing pass goes to center ice. Brewer flipped it back. Gadsby then follows up to center. Over here to Howe, over the line, and that is offside.
And this big crowd, of course, are going to be on anything that they think is the least bit against their Detroit Red Wings.
And, Chief, there's 1:10 remaining in this first period. 1-0 for the Maple Leafs on Fulford's goal from Stanley at 17:01.
Red Barkley has played a regular shift out there.
And it's Barkley with it right from the face-off. He flips it to Smith. Smith's backhand goes into the Leaf zone. Bauer snapping it off the side. A backhand to Armstrong. Armstrong for Keon. It was behind him. It's cleared right to Armstrong again, and Floyd Smith breaks it up to Jeffrey. Jeffrey's pass for Smith, and Jim Paplin flicks it down the ice. That's going right on the net. Sawchuk to Marcel Pronovo. Marcel Pronovo, watched by Keon, goes out over the blue line, and Horton has it. Martin, the pass to Armstrong. Shot it over the line. Tapped by Doug Barkley. His pass went all the way to Stanley. Stanley off the board. Smith breaks it up. 18 seconds remaining in offside. And we now have 16 seconds remaining in the first period.
Absolutely no hesitation on the part of those linesmen tonight. It's a pleasure to watch them because they're letting the whistle go.
And from the face-off, it's cleared down the ice. It was cleared down by Papin. He's going after it. Marcel Pronovo beat him to it. 10 seconds remaining in this first period. Face-off is in the lead zone to the left of Johnny Bauer. And Gordie House coming out with Alex Del Vecchio. Ullman, Floyd Smith, and Larry Jeffrey. That brings Fulford and Stewart over the board. With Red Kelly, Stanley, and Horton. From the face-off, Fulford. Bringing it out over the blue line. A long pass for Stewart was stopped by Howe at center. Over to Larry Jeffrey. 1 second. Here's a long shot. Bauer's got it. The horn goes. And the first period is over. Scoring play in the first period was Fulford from Stanley at 17:01 with Bob Bond in the penalty box for holding at 15:10. Score at the end of the first period then. Toronto Maple Leafs 1. Detroit Red Wings nothing. And from the face-off, Bruce McGregor, number 16. Shooting it over the line. Joyelle after it. Eman takes Joyelle into the boards. They jam there and hold it for a face-off. And the Detroit Red Wings start quickly here in this second period, trailing 1-0. Toronto Maple Leafs 1, Detroit no score. Andre Pronovo, Eddie Joyelle, Bruce McGregor, Doug Barkley, number 5, all taped up with a groin injury, and Marcel Pronovo. Ron Stewart, the center, a long shot wide. Fulford let one go. Stewart raced in and missed it. Andre Pronovo now clearing it out to center. Joyelle touched it, and it's way outside from inside the blue line over the checkered line at center. The referee, number 3, Vern Buffy. The linesman, Ron Wicks, number 10, and Matt Pavlich, number 7. 6th game of the Stanley Cup Finals. Detroit leading in this series, 3-2. From the face-off, here's Horton taking a shot way wide. It ends up behind the net. Fulford after it, trying to center to Eman. Comes out to the blue line. Stanley tried to keep it in, couldn't. Fulford's bumped by Joyelle. Horton, a flip pass right under Joyelle's stick. Over the line, trying to get his shot. Knocked down. Stanley off the boards to Stewart. Back to this wing to Eman. Eman clears it out to Fulford at center for Stewart, and Andre Pronovo knocked it down. And Fulford shot it in. Ends up behind the net. Doug Barkley back for it, number 5. His pass is for Bruce McGregor to Joyelle too far. Stanley shot it back. And Marcel Pronovo moves up. Keon's on the ice. Horton takes it in at the blue line. Over here to Stanley. It's bouncing. Gets it over the line. Alan Stanley. For Keon, it goes by him. Marcel Pronovo races after it. He gets to it first, and it's icing. Fouled against the Maple Leafs.
Well, these Detroit Red Wing fans are noticeably and understandably quiet. They realize, I think, just as everybody in the place, from Punch Imlach to Sid Abel realizes, that these Red Wings, in the physical condition they are, going back into Maple Leaf Gardens after losing tonight, if that should happen, would be decided underdogs. So they'll really turn it on.
And from the face-off comes the blue line. Gadsby's shot hits Smith. Smith Ullman, and his shot is wide. It's Jeffrey setting it right in front, and Papin gives it to Armstrong. Over for Keon. And it's offside. He took it over the checkered line at center, and the pass originated from inside the blue line. Ullman with Floyd Smith, Larry Jeffrey. Now then, Larry Hillman is coming out. On the defense is Bob Bond. Goes to Hillman. Over to Bond. Bond hit Hellman, it comes over on this wing. Larry Hillman ahead to Jim Pappen. Pappen is bumped by Gadsby. Bob Bond. A pass for Keon. It went to Langlois. Langlois after it. Keon skates him off. Behind the net. In a maze of skate. Comes loose to Gadsby. Bill Gadsby ahead to Smith. Over to Hellman with Jeffrey. Jeffrey over the blue line. He takes his shot. Bauer grabs it and holds onto it for a face-off.
Well, the baseball season must be here. Bauer moved like a shortstop on that one with a great glove move and picked that labeled drive off. The crowd tonight, Bill, is just 700 under the all-time record. 15,222 have fought and squeezed their way into this building.
And it's getting much warmer in here. Alex Del Vecchio, Packer McDonald, Gordie Howe, Doug Barkley, Marcel Pronovo, and Kelly with Bathgate, Mahavlich, Stanley, and Horton. It's cleared to Howe. Howe tries to get it back to Barkley. Kelly covers him along the boards, and they hold it for a face-off. Ready to go. Del Vecchio and Mahavlich is flicked down the ice. Marcel Pronovo, number 3, going back for it. Mahavlich goes after him. Marcel Pronovo with it, number 3, along pass to Del Vecchio. Stopped by Kelly. Kelly back for Mahavlich. For Bathgate. Bathgate closing in, and backhand is wide. Packer McDonald. Clearing it down the ice by Horton. That slides to the red line and over, and that'll be icing. Play 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the second period, 1-0 for the Maple Leafs.
They say as Howe goes, so go the Red Wings. He didn't get a point in the first game of the Chicago series. He's got at least a goal or an assist in every game since then, except this one, as of this time in the game.
Okay, Keith, we're all set to go. Alex Del Vecchio, number 10. Over to Marcel Pronovo. His pass stopped by Kelly to Mahavlich. Back to Bathgate, and Del Vecchio took it away from him. His pass stopped by Stanley. Stanley, a flip pass for Mahavlich. Back for Kelly and went behind him. Gordie Howe after it. Bathgate into Howe, but Howe gets it to Del Vecchio. Alex Del Vecchio with Doug Barkley. Doug Barkley shot it. Bauer stopped it. Gordie Howe went after the rebound. Bauer clears it to Mahavlich. Mahavlich stopped by Howe and Barkley. Gordie Howe in the corner. Takes his shot. Stopped by Mahavlich. Up with Bathgate. Takes the pass over the line. And he's trying to feed Mahavlich. Stanley moves up the shot. Horton gets the rebound. Off the boards. Coming from the side. His shot. Bathgate centered it right in front. Mahavlich shot wide. It rebounds over here to Stanley. There's his shot, and that's wide. Tim Horton and Kelly combined to knock it into the corner. Bathgate centered it. Marcel Pronovo and Packer McDonald, and down goes Bathgate. Cleared down the ice. Goes behind Bauer. And icing will be the call.
Well, the fans not getting too much to jump up and down about in this second period. Since that goal by Pulford, the Leafs have been able to control the Red Wings pretty well.
We have a face-off in the Detroit zone to the left of Terry Sawchuk. Pulford with Stewart and Eamon. Vaughn and Brewer. And for Detroit, Paul Henderson with Johnny McMillan and Pitt Martin, number 8. Up they come with Pitt Martin coming to center. A pass for Henderson. He's in the clear. He shoots the score.
The Leafs heard me talking and got a little overconfident. Somehow Henderson got a mile in behind the Leaf defense.
Paul Henderson getting in behind that Leaf defense was put in the clear by Pitt Martin. And it's all tied up 1-1. Now then, Fulford, a long shot. Contact stopping it. Johnny McMillan after it. Henderson is checked. Gadsby with it. Here's Martin again. Up the center. Offside. 4:20. Henderson from Martin. So Detroit have tied it up, 1-1. Bob Bond to Carl Brewer. To Jerry Eman. Outside. Face-off will be inside the late blue line. Score is tied, 1-1. Goes back to Bob Bond, over here to Carl Brewer. Brewer at his own blue line of center. He's checked by Martin. One man back. Martin over the line is shot, and Bauer stopped that. Carl Brewer up the center with Fulford. A flip pass for Fulford. Fulford getting into the clear. He shot, hit the side of the net. Tried to get it again. McMillan shot it out over the blue line. Pass for Eman. Eman shot it over the line for Stewart. Stewart hit front. Fulford took a backhand, and that was just off the target. Fulford has it again. Langlois covers him. Paul Henderson shoots it down the ice. Bond back for it. Icing is the call. This game is coming to you direct from the Olympia in Detroit. We've played 5 minutes, 39 seconds. Second period. It's all tied up 1-1. Keon with Papin and Armstrong. Comes back to Stanley. Stanley shot it through to Papin. It came near the front of the net. It's cleared off to the wing to Smith. Out over the line, Stanley to Papin. The pass over the blue line. Larry Jeffrey shot it out off Armstrong. Martin shoots it over the blue line into the corner. Slides in behind the Detroit net. Doug Barkley. A long pass. Hit Jeffrey in the back. Comes over the line. Jeffrey shoots, and he shot wide. Doug Barkley is shot, and it was cleared into the corner. Keon clears it around on the board. Armstrong shot by Marcel Pronovo. The pass came in front. Bauer scoots it over to Papin. Papin off the boards to center. Doug Barkley with it. For Smith. Armstrong to Jeffrey. Has it deflected off the lead player, and then Horton comes up with it. Pass for Armstrong. Stopped by Ullman. Ullman gets away from Papin. To Smith. Over the line. To Jeffrey. Stopped by Armstrong to Keon. A pass for Armstrong too far. Doug Barkley coming down the ice for Detroit. Gets it over the line, and it's offside. Played 7 minutes, less 10 seconds of the second period. It's a 1-1 tie.
Well, these Red Wing fans are coming up with a big holler, and the old pros will tell you that a hometown crowd roaring like that doesn't bother them or give them a lift, but obviously it gives the younger players a lift or depresses them if they're on the team that's getting cheered against. I think you could feel the Red Wings rise after that great break by Henderson, which he made good on, of course.
Vecchio and Howe and Tucker McDonald to Langlois. Got it in. Bauer stopping it to Brewer. Off the boards for Kelly. Let it go, and it went out to center ice. Bill Gadsby to Packer McDonald. He shoots it right back in again, and Bauer stopped it. Pass gate to Brewer, number 2. Ahead to Kelly, went right through his legs. Now then, Del Vecchio for Packer McDonald, and it didn't reach Howe. Frank Mahamlich now on the left wing. He gets over the line. Langlois shot it. Kelly took a whack at the rebound off the boards, and Langlois gets it again for Detroit. Shot it out to Packer McDonald off his skate. Here's Bathgate. His pass hit Langlois and deflected all the way out to center right. Brewer watched by Del Vecchio. He turns. He's checked by Gadsby and knocked down. Bathgate. For Brewer, Howe takes it away from him and shoots it right back into the lead zone. Bob Vaughn. A pass to Bathgate. Over to Kelly. Shot from Mahamley, stopped by Langlois and cleared down the ice. And that's going over the red line. And that'll be called for icing back into the Detroit zone. To the left of Terry Sawchuk, and we played 8 minutes and 6 seconds of the second period. It's 1-1.
And that veteran Bill Gadsby took a real crack at Brewer on that rush. Albert Langlois is the biggest man on the ice in weight and height for either team at the moment. He weighs 205 pounds, just a few pounds more than Gordie Howe.
Ready for the face-off in the Detroit zone to the left. Home with Eamon and Stewart. It's cleared to Bruce McGregor. Up the ice line by Bruno and Eddie Joyelle. A long shot. Bauer flicking it into the corner. Bruce McGregor sending it right in the spot. Marcel Pronovo a shot, and Bauer stopped that as Bruce McGregor went down. A pass to Stewart. Over here to Eamon. Eamon and Stanley over the line. Back to Stanley. Stanley took a shot, and Doug Barkley got in front of it with his stick. Andre Pronovo can't get out. Here's the pass for Stanley, and Joyelle gets it for Detroit. Down the ice, over the line. There's the shot, and Bauer got a stick on it. Eamon goes to the board. It's kicked loose, but not soon enough. Play is called for a face-off in the lead zone to the left. The 8 minutes and 48 seconds of the second period. 1-1 tie.
And when Paul Henderson scored, I guess the folks in Kincardine really went wild. He's a native of that part of the world. Bobby Pulford is from a hamlet, Newton Robinson, although he lived in Toronto for so long, I guess you have to call him a Torontonian now. Nevertheless, even because he's from there, I would think they'd be raising the flag pretty high.
Face-off is in the lead zone to the left, and out there now, Ullman with Smith and Jeffrey. Keon, number 14, flips past to Armstrong. Gets away from him, Marcel Pronovo to Ullman, number 7. Ullman at center. Got it over the line and hit Pappen's stick. He goes after it. Keon to Brewer, back to Pappen. Keon tries to work his way out. He couldn't. Ullman's pass. Armstrong after it. Jeffrey covered him, and Keon takes over in his own zone. Up the ice for Keon. A pass to Armstrong, and it's offside. Eddie Litzenberger coming out, number 25, for the first time in the series. Eddie Litzenberger, number 25. Cleared up the center. Ullman takes a long shot. It bounced right in Bauer's pads. Brewer to Armstrong. Up for Keon. Stopped by Barkley and hit Armstrong. Armstrong for Litzenberger. Litzenberger took a long shot. Marcel Pronovo watched by Keon. Cleared around into the corner on this side. Floyd Smith watched by Litzenberger. Smith gets it again. A pass for Jeffrey. Jeffrey down the ice. He's hit by Vaughn. There's going to be a penalty to Vaughn. One of the Leafs is trying to get a penalty. Gives Detroit the odd man. 6 men to 5. Score is tied, 1-1. A slashing penalty at 9:59 to Bob Vaughn. Al Vecchio takes his shot. That's wide. Paul Henderson trying to center it. Pitt Martin goes after it. It's all around the Leafs goal. Stanley cleared it. Here's Gordie Howe getting set the shot. Stanley intercepts and shoots it down the ice. Al Vecchio, number 10, back. 1-1 tie. They call it charging. That 9:59. There's a shot in front. Howell's got it back at the line. There's his shot, and it goes wide. Hopeford goes to the boards, lost it. Horton cleared at the line, but not out. Del Vecchio to Martin to Howe. Here's the shot. Bauer stopped that, and Henderson missed the rebound. Horton is checked by Johnny McMillan. McMillan trying to center it. Still has it. Pass it right to score. Hit Martin. Take the lead for the first time in the game, 2-1. Hit Martin. Johnny McMillan. I'm from the... Bauer cleared out to the wing. Mahavlich back. Now it's Mahavlich down the left wing to center. Flicks it over the line, goes after it. Cleared it, knocked down. Packer McDonald along the board, tapped by Bond. Mahavlich trying to center it. Langlois gets a hold of it. Here's Howe down the right wing, center, over the blue line. Pass to Langlois. He shoots. Bauer stopped that. Back for Kelly and Brewer. Takes down the ice for Brewer. Brewer takes his shot. Sawchuk stopped it. Gordie Howe the rebound. To Del Vecchio. Up to Howe. At center. Over on the wing to Packer McDonald. Back to Howe. Howe shoots it. That's high into the crowd. Eddie Shack is out for the first time on the left wing. Keon at center. Armstrong on the right. Juriel with Bruce McGregor. Andre Plonovo. Doug Barkley. Eddie Shack. Able to get away. Juriel. Pass to McGregor. McGregor goes to the corner. Tries to center it. Horton. A pass to Armstrong. Up to Keon. Keon is checked. Armstrong flicks it over the line. There's a delayed whistle on the play, but it goes out to Juriel. And then Horton's pass for a shot. Bruce McGregor. And Doug Barkley. Barkley is knocked down. Now it's McGregor over the line outside.
Doug Barkley seems to be pacing himself. He's skating very slowly off the ice. He's pacing himself, very much the taped-up hockey player. Bill mentioned, the report was that he is really very much more injured than was reported.
Jack replaced by Harris. Horton at the blue line. Coming up the center. Pass for Keon. Keon tried to hook it through. Harris goes after it. Centered it right in front. Comes back to Horton. Horton shot. That's wide. Floyd Smith. Pass behind Jeffrey. Jeffrey passes high, and Armstrong picks it up at the leaf blue line. Pass to Billy Harris. Harris flicking it into the corner. Keon goes after with Ullman. Jeffrey trying to hold it against the boards. Armstrong centered it right in front, and Jeffrey picks it up. On the left wing for Jeffrey. Over the line. Trying to cut around Horton. Pass it right across the goal line. Ullman stops two lead players. Harris finally gets away. Over to Keon, over the line. Keon took his shot. Sawchuk stopped it. It's behind the net. Armstrong after it. Back to Stanley. There's his shot. Armstrong deflected it wide. Back up for Jeffrey. Long one to Smith. His shot. Bauer caught it. Cleared into the corner. Shot out to center ice. Bill Gadsby. To Smith. To Jeffrey. Bauer caught that. 2-1 Detroit with 6 minutes remaining in the second period. Billy Harris shot it down the ice. And that'll be icing.
And the Detroit Red Wings getting tremendous moral support and great effort from their youngsters and veterans alike. If you lived in Calgary, who would you root for? Bill Gadsby, who's from there, or Ronnie Stewart of the Leafs? The town must be torn asunder tonight.
Detroit 2. Out of Maple Leafs 1. And from the face-off, Pulford cleared right onto Stewart's skate. Up he comes to center. Over the blue line with Pulford. There's his shot. Sawchuk stopping it. Eman moves up. Flip pass to Ron Stewart. Right in front. Pulford missed the shot. Andre Pronovo covering him. Cleared out over the blue line. Pulford broke his stick. Brewer to Stewart. Stewart races after it. Took his shot and they score! Pulford knocked it in the net. Pulford tied it up from Stewart.
That's number 5 for Bobby Pulford in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And he is one of those steady performers. You give him much of an opening and he'll score. On that one, Stewart did a tremendous amount of work, but somebody had to dump it in there.
That ties it up 2-all. Top. Here it is. .1436, Pulford from Stewart. Cleared out over the blue line. Now then Gordie Howe with the score tied 2-all. Hit Bathgate. Brewer also got an assist on the play. And Mahavlich is knocked down by Gordie Howe. Stanley to Kelly. It's offside at the blue line. Del Vecchio, Packer McDonald, Gordie Howe, Mahavlich, Kelly, and Bathgate. Cleared over on the wing. Bathgate took his shot. Sawchuk scooped it off to the side. Bill Gadsby with it. A long pass at center. Went down the ice off Stanley. Horton back. Del Vecchio after him. Tim Horton. A pass to Kelly at center. Over the line. Langlois had him well covered. And Packer McDonald feeds Gordie Howe. His pass off by Horton. Mahavlich gives it back to Howe and Del Vecchio. Del Vecchio over the line. He shoved it, and Mahavlich clears it to the blue line, but not out. Then Stanley gets a hold of it. Pass to Mahavlich, up the Bathgate, going in. There's the shot. Sawchuk didn't see it on the rebound, and it went off to the side. Del Vecchio over here to Gadsby. Gadsby, a pass for Howe. Then Horton off stride. Here's Gordie Howe going in. He shoots. Goal! Gordie Howe on a perfect backhand drive makes it 3-2 Detroit.
I don't think I've seen Tim Horton fall, lose his balance like that in 4 or 5 years.
Howe from Del Vecchio and Gadsby. Now there's going to be a misconduct penalty here. Litzenberger. conduct at 15:56. Armstrong for Harris. He fell over the blue line, and Barkley brings it outside and holds it there. Keith, a lot of players were falling tonight without seemingly any instruction. He comes back for Barkley again. Harris trying to tap it. Ullman clears it out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey backhands it back into the lead zone. Bob Bond is there for it, number 21. A pass to Armstrong to Bond. Bond at center. Over the line with Keon. Keon closing in. He shot it right in front. Armstrong tries to move up. Ullman cleared it behind the net. Doug Barkley, watched by Keon, holds it there, and there's no further play.
The ice surface looks to be in good condition, and the players, I think, are feeling the effects of a 70-game schedule and 13 playoff games.
Detroit 3, Toronto Maple Leafs 2. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this second period. Keon facing off with Gadsby. It rolls the side tuck to Ullman. Laid around the boards for Larry Jeffrey. Jeffrey clears it out, and Keon is there to Bond. To Armstrong. For Keon. Gadsby broke it up. Brewer. Over to Armstrong. Armstrong shot it. Sawchuk stopped that. Larry Jeffrey. Bringing it out. Ran into Bond. Pass to Bruce McGregor. He shot it wide. Harris failed to get out. Larry Jeffrey. Check. Armstrong to Billy Harris. Going down the ice over the blue line. Harris trying to cut in. Ullman covers up. Bond moves up, takes his shot. Oh, hit the side of the net. Very right in front. Bruce McGregor gets it out to center. Brewer got it in. Gadsby clears it around on the board. Stewart kicks it in front to Keon. Scores! Harris ties it up. Harris tipped that right between Terry Sawchuk's legs from right at the edge of the goal crease. He had no chance whatsoever.
Well, the goalie started off as if they were going to play shutout hockey, but in the second period here, both clubs finding the scoring range. .17:48. Armstrong and Bond the assist. Now it's a shot into the lead zone. Henderson after it. Stewart trying to get it out. Horton moves up now. Up with Pulford. Takes the pass over the line. Pulford took his shot wide. Stanley from the blue line was checked by Henderson, and it was cleared down the ice. Horton going back for it. Icing is the call. And this game is coming to you direct from the Olympia in Detroit. From the face-off, goes to Del Vecchio. Gadsby and Pulford were fencing, and now comes out to Howe, to Parker McDonald, to Gordie Howe. Stewart wrapped it out again. Del Vecchio, number 10. Knocked down by Stanley on a high pass. Stanley for Pulford. Gadsby stopped it. He gets it again. Bill Gadsby to Gordie Howe. Over the line. Horton covers him. Stanley. Let's pass for Pulford. Langlois shot it to Gordie Howe. Howe over the line. He's bumped. Gets it again. Gordie Howe trying to get his shot away. Stanley. That flip pass on the right wing to Stewart. Less than a minute to go in the period. Ron Stewart ridden off by Langlois. Tries to get it in front. Pulford covers the Detroit player. Howe kicks it. Play is called, and there's going to be a penalty here to Detroit. Al Langlois
gets the gate.
Langlois been around with the Canadians and the Rangers and now the Wings, and he has that baby countenance and that complete innocence.
High sticking. $19:15 is the time. Langlois for high sticking. Score is tied 3-3.
Leafs have scored 6 power play goals in the series to date. That hasn't been working for them, their power play, as it should. And without McKinney, it's been a little unbalanced.
Keon, Mahavlich, Armstrong, Kelly, and Bathgate, Howe, Marcel Pronovo, Bill Gadsby, and Normie Ullman. Goes back to Ullman in the corner. He lifts it, and it's knocked down the ice as Kelly goes back for it. Number 4. 32 seconds remaining in the period. Kelly shoots it into the Detroit zone, into the corner, slides behind the goal. Howe clears it to the blue line. Bathgate stops it. His pass goes into the corner. Mahavlich after it. Gadsby lifts it down the ice. Goes to Bauer. Bathgate with 10 seconds remaining in the period. Pass to Keon. Keon over the line. A pass for Armstrong. Armstrong hit Gadsby. Gadsby goes to the boards, and there's a fraction of a second remaining. The face-off will be a mere formality. It's right on the 20 mark. So as soon as that puck hits the ice, there'll be a horn. Be half a second of anything else. Ready to go. Puck is dropped. There it goes. And the second period ends with the Leafs scoring 1 goal in the first period, and then the Red Wings with Henderson, Howe, and Martin scoring, and Popper and Harris scoring for the Leafs. And the score at the end of the second period is the Detroit Red Wings 3, Toronto Maple Leafs 3. And now Langlois is back in the penalty box. His penalty came at 19:15. And, of course, with me tonight here in Detroit is Keith Dancy of the CBC television hockey crew out of Montreal. And we're all set for the face-off. The Leafs have the odd man. The score is tied 3-3. Red Kelly up to center. Long shot. It came right in front of the net, and it was cleared by Detroit. Ullman to Gadsby, and Gadsby finds an opening and shoots it down the ice. Red Kelly back. Shot it off the boards. Ullman shoots it and hits the linesman Mahavlich. A flip pass to Kelly over the blue line. Goes to the corner. Passes it back to Armstrong. Armstrong. A pass to Bathgate. Clears it back, and it went out over the blue line. Keon to Bathgate. Bathgate's long shot right on. Gadsby the rebound, number 4. And he shoots it into the Detroit bench, actually over their heads, into the crowd. Score is tied 3-3 in this third period.
Well, the fellow that gets the winning goal in this one, if it's for Detroit, scores the goal. It'll be worth an extra $18,000 to his club. If it's for the Leafs, it sends the series into a 7th and deciding game in Toronto, and that'll be playoff game number 21. And that's a new mark, or will be a new mark, if it should happen in the National League.
It's a 3-3 tie. Anybody's hockey game as it's cleared down the center ice. Andy Bathgate back at his own blue line. Over to Kelly. Kelly turns. Coming back up to the blue line again, the center. Over the blue line, into the corner. Tried to center it in front. Normie Ullman picks it off. Cleared it, but not out. Bathgate is shot. Not to stop that. Billy Harris picks it off in the corner. Back for Kelly. Al Langlois on the ice. Gadsby ran into Harris. It's cleared around on the board. Langlois tips it down, and Bathgate after it. To Armstrong. George Armstrong, a pass for Harris. Closing in with Keon, and he lost it to Normie Ullman. Ullman down the ice. At center. Over the blue line. Cutting in. Goes to the corner. Gated off by Horton, number 7. A pass deflects out to Billy Harris at center. He overskates it, and Marcel Pronovo turns for Detroit. Over the blue line with Howe. Marcel Pronovo shot. Howe deflection, and Donnie Bauer just got his pad on that drive that deflected off the stick of Gordie Howe.
Two great athletes with tremendous reflex action. Howe was in the right spot at the right time and just put his stick on that puck, and Bauer smothered it so beautifully. Close friends in the offseason, and two of the great competitors.
Eddie Joyal, number 21, Andre Pronovo, Bruce McGregor, Doug Barkley, and Marcel Pronovo, all inside the blue line. On the face-off, it's Andre Pronovo's shot, wide. Bauer knocked it back to the board. Stanley is given a bump, and they hold it there for a face-off. The Red Wings pressing the Maple Leafs in this third period. All set for the face-off. It's Horton back behind the net. Clears it out off the glass to center. Stopped by Marcel Pronovo. Shot in between Stanley and Horton. Bauer stopping it. Stanley. Number 26. The Red Wings playing every man up. A pass goes to Ron Stewart with Fulford. A long pass for him and went all the way down over the red line. Bruce McGregor there. Icing is called against the Leafs.
Well, this big crowd is really waiting for something to shout about. They're even filling the time, and you'd think that by the way the crowds react in the Bill, they seem to be picking up each other's habits, don't they? The rhythmic clapping and the go Leafs go.
Face-off is to the right of the Maple Leaf goal. The Red Wings are playing every man up here with Kit Martin, number 8, Johnny McMillan, number 12, Paul Henderson, number 19, Bill Gadsby, and Al Langlois. Stewart with Fulford and Eamon, Horton and Stanley. Ron Stewart. Behind the net. Shot it off the glass, down the ice. Going over the red line again, and Al Langlois touches it, and icing called against the Maple Leafs again.
Horton and Martin started a little shoving there, but nothing of a serious nature. Martin wasn't very excited about that first playoff goal, was he?
Martin, number 8. Henderson, number 19. Johnny McMillan, number 12. Horton facing off with him. Martin got the draw. Johnny McMillan centers it. And it's Eamon, a pass for Stewart too far, and that slides down the ice. And that's going over the red line again. We'll have another icing against the Maple Leafs. Coming up to the 3-minute mark in 3 seconds of this third period, it's a 3-3 tie. Fulford scoring in the first period at 17:01. In the second, it was Henderson at 4:20, Martin at 10:56, Fulford at 14:36, Howe at 15:56, and Harris at 17:48. Horton knocks Martin down. Play is called, and there's going to be a misconduct here. Kit Martin said something to referee Vern Buffy after he was knocked down by Horton, and he's going to get a 10-minute misconduct.
Referees have been handing out misconducts with rare abandon in both this series and the semifinals, teaching the boys that good conduct and respect of the office is what they want.
3:07, the time of the 10-minute misconduct to Kit Martin. And we told you earlier we have to use these mirrors and have to get confirmation from the press box that we cannot hear the public address system. 3:07 is the official time of the 10-minute misconduct. Langlois pass to Del Vecchio, a long shot wide. Kelly shot it off the boards out over the blue line. Bill Gadsby had moved up. Gadsby Shooting it back in again. Powering stopping it. Bob Bond. Shot it off the boards, but not out. Gadsby's shot, stopped by Brewer. Cleared out over the blue line. Gadsby for Howe. Howe is poke check. Brewer to Red Kelly over the blue line. He's trying to go through. Del Vecchio got in front of him. And Langlois feeds the pass to Howe over here to Piker McDonald. Going up at center ice. Up over the line. The shot. Bauer stops that. And Brewer gets the rebound and flicks it down to center. Doug Barkley shot it off the boards. Howe tried to reach it. Red Kelly shot it in. Terry Sawchuk let it go, and Doug Barkley picks it up. Barkley's long pass at center. Brewer for Bathgate. Bathgate takes a long shot. That's wide from Williams. Gordie Howe back, number 9, behind the net with a pass to Parker McDonald on this wing. Cleared it out over the line to center. Del Vecchio races after it, and it's offside.
And the dark spots are starting to show on the Red Wings uniforms particularly, and that is a sign of condensation, perspiration, what have you. The smog in the arena is starting to come down to the lower level here. We can see a blue-gray haze up from anywhere from 20 feet over the ice up.
And we're at the 4:28 mark of this third period. Score is tied, 3-3. It's cleared down the ice. Horton goes after it. Larry Jeffrey gets in ahead of him. Poked off to the corner. Horton takes Jeffrey into the board. It's picked up by Ullman. Ullman centered right inside Marcel Pronovo's shot. And that caromed off to the board. Cleared out for Keon. Keon and Harris, one man back, going in together. Pass for Harris, it was behind them. Pass out now to Smith. Smith down the ice for Detroit, over the blue line. Back to Ullman. He shoots. Bauer got a piece of it with a stick. George Armstrong with the score tied 3-3 at his own blue line. Up to center. Over the line. Takes his shot. Terry Sawchuk caught it, and he's going to hold it for a face-off. Larry Jeffrey. Bumped by Bond. Stewart took a slap at it. Marcel Pronovo cleared it, but not out. There's Eamon's shot. And Terry Sawchuk got his stick in the way of it. Stewart trying to center it. And Normie Ullman comes up with it, number 7. Down the ice he comes for Detroit. To center. Turns around for Doug Barkley. Over the line. Doug Barkley shoots it. Bauer deflected it with his glove. Carl Brewer now coming up the ice to center. Flips it into the corner. Smith after it. Chopped it behind the net. Marcel Pronovo off the boards to Larry Jeffrey. Jeffrey hit Eamon. It goes to Smith. Over the line. Smith breaking it on the goal. He scored. It went right by the open corner. Going to be a penalty here. Penalty to the Maple Leafs. A hooking penalty to Carl Brewer. .04 is the time of the hooking penalty to Carl Brewer. That gives Detroit, with the score tied 3-3, the odd man advantage, 6 men to 5.
One Jim Lag has pulled Bobby Fulford off after having him on. He's a high-flying Leaf tonight. He'll be on before this penalty's over, trying to kill it out.
It's Joyelle with Bruce McGregor, Andre Pronovo, Alex Del Vecchio, and Gordie Howe. Back to Del Vecchio, the shot, right in front. Oh, hit the goal post. That shot by Bruce McGregor hit the goal post and came right out again. Gordie Howe over the line, the shot wide. Red Wings failed to keep it in. Andre Pronovo going back to center to Bruce McGregor. Shot it over the blue line, into the corner, behind the net. Horton slapped it around on the board. Del Vecchio keeps it in. Joyelle fanned on his shot. And Dave Keon gets it over the blue line. Gordie Howe to Bruce McGregor with Joyelle. Joyelle cutting in. He shoots. Bauer stops it. And Joyelle just missed poking it in. Del Vecchio coming from the side. He shoots. Powers stopped that. Del Vecchio after it again. Armstrong breaks it up. And it's cleared up to center ice. Gordie Howe as Keon fell. Howe over the blue line. Trying to go around Armstrong. Does. Joyelle is in the net. Oh, they shot it right across the goal mouth. It's all around the Leaf goal. Horton clears it desperately down the ice. And the Detroit Red Wings have done everything but take the lead. Del Vecchio for Howe. Howe up the center to Del Vecchio. He shoots. Bauer stops it. It's right in front. Ullman back to Howe. Here's the shot right in front of Jeffries. And Vaughn dropped in front of it.
Understandably, I think the player is getting a little edgy with that tremendous pressure the Wings had on the Leafs. Johnny Bauer, being very acrobatic there, was aided by the goalposts. And, of course, they're part of a netfinder's paraphernalia. You have to put it between the goalposts to make it count. The Wings didn't manage to do that, and so the score remains tied at 3 apiece.
Coming up to the 8-minute mark. In 18 seconds of this third period, a 3-3 tie. The Leafs are still short-handed. Normie Ullman back for Gadsby. He flicked it through, and Larry Hillman breaks it up. Takes a long shot. That bounces wide of Sawchuk. Bill Gadsby, number 4. To Langlois. Up here to Larry Jeffrey. Jeffrey to Smith. Over the line, he stops. He's still got it. Over to Bill Gadsby. Closing right in on goal. He shoots. Oh, another try. And Stewart teched him before he could get that rebound drive. Brewer at the pulpit, and it's offside as the Leafs return to full strength. We're at the 8:17 mark of the third period. It's a 3-3 tie.
And if the first period was a goalies period, the second period belonged to the goal scorers. So far in the third period, the goalies have taken over again.
Hellman with Larry Jeffrey and Floyd Smith. Now then they're making a change. Howe coming out with Del Vecchio, Packer McDonald. Doug Barkley and Marcel Pronovo, number 3. Mahavlich with Kelly and Bathgate, Vaughn and Brewer. Out over the line. Bob Vaughn trying to get away. Del Vecchio has him well covered. Del Vecchio trying to get loose. Doug Barkley knocked it down with his glove to Del Vecchio. Back to Parker McDonald, a shot, and Bauer knocked it with his glove over the glass into the crowd.
Well, Nova Scotia, particularly the city of Sydney, has 2 products that they're very proud of. One is Parker McDonald. The other, Bill, is your good friend Danny Gallivan. That's his part of the world, too.
And we have a face-off in the Maple Leaf zone to the right. Howe facing off with Bob Vaughn. Now he's being replaced by Horton. Ready to go. On the face-off, Horton and Howe mix it up as Mahavlich tries to get away. Howe falls. Mahavlich with a pass for Kelly. It's shot near Sawchuk. He knocked it off to the wing. Packer McDonald with it. Hit Kelly. Kelly knocked it off to the boards. Del Vecchio covers him. Marcel Pronovo flicks it out. Kelly gets it again and flicks it right back in again. Doug Barkley off the boards for Howe. Poked out to center. Bathgate to Stanley. Stanley for Kelly. He chops it in. Mahavlich was way offside.
Howe fell very heavily going into Detroit territory on the chase there. Got up slowly and played very, very carefully. He was winded on the play, but he's staying out there, and as usual is sort of a one-man campaign.
At the 9:15 mark of the third period, still a 3-3 tie. Doug Barkley behind the Detroit goal. Shot it out. Parker McDonald tipped it with his stick, so there will be no icing on the play. Stanley shot it around. Mahavlich knocked it out again, and it's Marcel Pronovo going back. A long pass goes down the ice over the red line. This time Detroit clearing it down, and Horton touches it, icing against the Red Wings. All set for the face-off. Puck is dropped. The Red Wings get the draw. Normie Ellman, watched by Keon. Keon centered it in front. Sawchuk knocked it with his stick off to the wing. Larry Jeffrey flicked it out to center. Carl Brewer picks it off. He flicks it over the line. The Red Wings try to get it loose. They do. Al Langlois to Larry Jeffrey. Up over the blue line. Here's the shot. Bauer stops it. Tim Horton. Pass for Armstrong. Too far. Langlois to Ullman with Jeffrey. And Jeffrey missed it. Now it's Dave Keon down the ice over the blue line. His shot's going high, way high up into the crowd.
Play really slowed down to a walk for a couple of minutes here as the teams are feeling the stress and strain not only of tonight, a ruggedly, very hard-played game, but the strain of the tremendously difficult series that they've both been through.
Ullman with Larry Jeffrey and Smith out there. Gadsby and Langlois. It's cleared out over the line off Stanley's skate. Horton back for it. Horton. A pass for Eman, intercepted by Gadsby, down over the blue line. He shoots. Bauer stops at the rebound. Horton knocked it off to the wing. Stanley's hit by Smith. Eman's knocked down. Stanley clears it around on the boards to Stewart. Shot out over the line. Smith brings it back with a shot. Bauer caught it. Drops it. Backhands it into the corner onto this wing. Stewart gets it to the blue line, but not out. Here's Ullman. Trying to get set. Still has it. Hooper covers him. But Ullman fights for it to Gadsby. And it hit a leg and goes down the ice. Now Langlois, number 2, back. Off the boards to center. Tim Horton. To Pulford. For Brewer, off the glass. Comes over on this wing. Jeffrey races after it. Horton knocked it out. Stewart cleared it to an open wing. Bruce McGregor lost it to Pulford. Eman over here to Ron Stewart. He took his shot, and Terry Sawchuk stopped that. Bruce McGregor up with Larry Jeffrey. Over the blue line. Jeffrey hit the board. Vaughn bumped by Joyelle. Brewer gets it loose. Clears it around here to Ron Stewart. And Ron Stewart feeds a pass to Pulford. Pulford stops. Being watched by Andre Pronovo. Andre Pronovo sticks with him. He had to pass it to Stanley up here to Stewart. And Marcel Pronovo whacked him into the boards. Now then Kelly tries to get loose. Andre Pronovo checks him and knocks the leaf player into the board. Bill Gadsby to Andre Pronovo. He's coming out himself. Up the center. Over the line. There's the shot. Bauer knocked it down. The rebound. Bob Vaughn is bumped into the board. Bruce McGregor covers it. And the face-off will be in the link zone to the left. They've played 12 minutes, 35 seconds of the third period. It's still a 3-3 tie.
Sid Abel and the Red Wings will be mighty glad to see Pitt Martin come out of that penalty box in about a minute. He is very much part of the young legs that the Wings talk about. They haven't got that many young legs. His loss has slowed them down.
That's Howell with Del Vecchio and Packer McDonald. Kelly, Mahavlich, and Bathgate. Here's a chance for McDonald. Stanley goes down. Mahavlich, a pass to Bathgate. Back for Mahavlich. Marcel Pronovo shot it off the boards. Bathgate shot. Knocked down by Packer McDonald. He's racing after it. He's sending it in the clear. He does. He shoots. Oh, and Bauer just got a hold of that shot as Packer McDonald seemed to be breaking into the clear, but he couldn't get a hard drive away. Now it's Horton clearing it down the ice. Icing is the call.
Well, Alan Stanley, who is no youngster, seems to be able to come up with a tremendous amount of desire. He was fast back on Parker McDonald. Incidentally, while we're at it, Parker McDonald isn't that young either. He's 30, and Stanley is in the verge of 38. Pitt Martin has gone back out there for Detroit, so now we'll see whether they get a second breath.
Now with Parker McDonald, Alex Delvecchio. Keon Armstrong and Harris. Kelly talking to Harris. Kelly's going to stay out.
Seemed to indicate a collision. And, of course, Spelding Bobby is one of the very big bulwarks on that Toronto blue line. He's one of the reasons the Leafs are this far. He hands out the finest, stiffest body checks in the National League, in my opinion. And when he's hitting, he keeps the forwards honest.
We're at the 13-15 mark of this third period. Vaughn is still down. Keith, it looks like a stretcher.
He seemed to be having trouble as he went down with one leg. And, of course, coming on the heels of that injury to Don McKinney, you can imagine the thoughts going through Punch Imlach's mind. To lose two fine players in two key games, and obviously Brewer is going to be out of this hockey game for a little while.
They're lifting Vaughn up there on that stretcher. Hard to say which leg it is, or whether it's his shoulder. Take him off the ice.
Tremendous service. Vaughn, as I said, keeps the forwards honest. He's hit a tremendous number of hockey players. In the main, Vaughn does not resort to the so-called dirty type of checking. He hits them square, and man, does he hit them. Most of the men that he plays against will tell you that they don't forget it too quickly after Bobby hits them. So that'll shake up the Leaf defense and make Imlach use Hillman a great deal, which, in a sense, will bring fresh legs into the Leaf attack.
Score is tied 3-3, and we're at the 13-15 mark when Vaughn was hurt. Scoring plays at 17:01 of the first period. Fulford scored from Stanley. In the second, Henderson from Martin at 4:20. Then Martin from McMillan and Howe at 10:56. Fulford from Stewart and Brewer at 14:36. Howe from Delvecchio and Gadsby at 15:56. And then Harris from Armstrong and Vaughn at 17:48. In the first period, the Leafs outshot Detroit 15-8, and Detroit came right back in the second period and outshot the Maple Leafs 16-12. There were 3 penalties in the first period, 2 to the Leafs and 1 to Detroit. There were 3 penalties in the second period, 2 to the Leafs and 1 to Detroit, which included a 10-minute misconduct. And we have 2 penalties so far in this third period, 1 apiece, and a misconduct to Pitt Martin that came at 3:07.
Well, the scrapers have to clean off the feet mark from the ambulance people that went out to pick Vaughn up. I don't think there was anything on the ice particularly. The crowd has been generally well behaved.
It's hard to say, Keith, just exactly what happened to Vaughn because the play was over on the other side.
Well, you know, I don't think of the 15,300 odd in here, counting the folks like you and I that come in to do some work. I don't think 4 people really saw what happened because the attention was so much on the puck as it was around Johnny Bauer. Certainly, referee Vern Buffy has not seen fit to even discuss a penalty. The Leafs are not the least bit upset about the fact that it could have been a foul that caused the accident.
Now it looks like they picked up whatever was on the ice. along with a little snow, so that ice must be getting a little soft out there.
Well, the temperature in Detroit, another fine day, up around 65. In this broadcast booth, it's quite hot. I imagine down on the ice surface it's not quite this hot because we're in fairly close, low-ceiling quarters with bright lights. But I think the ice is feeling it, and certainly you can see by the Red Wing uniforms, Bill, the dark spots appearing.
That's right. Well, now we have Howe with Del Vecchio, Packer McDonald, Doug Barkley, and Marcel Pronovo. The Leafs have Keon with Armstrong, Harris, Brewer, and Hillman. From the face-off, back to Brewer. Brewer failed to get it out. It goes to Hillman. Off the board, Armstrong. Stopped by Packer McDonald. Hillman covers the Detroit player, but Armstrong fails to get it out. Now then, Hillman brings it out over the blue line. A backhand. Marcel Pronovo had it on his glove and makes sure of it by holding on to it. Apparently it's his ankle, Bob Bond's ankle. He may have caught it in a rut, Keith, in front of the net. That happens sometimes.
Well, they get pretty well chopped up in there. He could have caught it on the netting at the side and twisted it, and at this stage in the game, he was a little fatigued for sure.
Carl Brewer tried to hold it in, but he couldn't. Fouled by linesman Matt Pavlich. Ullman with Larry Jeffrey and Floyd Smith. Langlois and Bill Gadsby. Hillman slapping it over the Detroit line. Gadsby in possession. Up to Floyd Smith with Jeffrey. Stopped by Brewer. Brewer over here to Keon. Over the line with Armstrong. Back to Armstrong. He shoots and he shot it high. It goes to the corner. It's behind the net. Al Langlois shot it to Larry Jeffrey. Larry Jeffrey down the left wing at center with Ullman. Over the blue line. Larry Jeffrey shot it right on. Brewer gets a hold of it. A pass to George Armstrong with Keon. Long shot. Keon races after it. It came out in front, and it's cleared, and icing is the call. Everybody missed it, including Keon and Sawchuk. But then when the Detroit player touched it well out, why, that meant icing.
That's the kind of break that's got to break this game. Bobby Bond, the word is the doctors are examining him. It is his right ankle. And after all, he's only been in that room about 2 minutes, so I think they're very good to come away and tell us even that much.
Okay, Keith, we're all set to go. Kit Martin out there at center ice with Johnny McMillan and Paul Henderson. Bob Pulford, watched by Henderson. Tim Horton clears it to the blue line. Marcel Pronovo traps it. They all pile there with Johnny McMillan, Marcel Pronovo, and Ron Stewart. Now we'll have a face-off in the Leaf zone. Kit Martin had the draw, shot by Henderson. Bauer stopping it. Horton a pass to Stanley. Stanley fails to get it out. Behind the net. Gets away from Martin. Pass to Pulford. Pulford up to Stewart. Stewart has a break in the right wing. He shoots. Terry Sawchuk stops it. And Doug Barkley puts it underneath him to make sure. Eddie Shack out for a skate.
One thing about Eddie, he gets reaction no matter what he does, whether he just skates around, carries the puck, or sits there.
And he's going to play out there now with Kelly and Mahavlich. Del Vecchio with Packer McDonald, Gordie Howe. On the face-off, Eddie Shack. Getting it out. Larry Hillman races down the right wing over the blue line. Took his shot. Knocked off to the wing by Bill Gadsby. Cleared for Del Vecchio, who's bumped by Shack. Hold it against the boards again, and there's a face-off in the Detroit zone this time. And you can just feel the tension here in the Olympia with the score tied 3-3 and time running out in regulation time. A long pass at center, knocked back into the Detroit zone, cleared out here to Packer McDonald. He shot it into the Leaf zone. That's over the red line. Kelly will touch that. Icing is called against Detroit.
Well, whatever you do, don't adjust your set now. Leave it alone, because whatever picture you've got, stick with it. This is a tremendous hockey game, and you're getting right in on the action of one of the top thrillers of all time. I guess if it goes into overtime, we'll have to send out for that scriptwriter, Bill. This is unbelievable.
4 minutes, 22 seconds remaining. There's a shot. Sotchak had to stop it right from the face-off. Cleared around on the wing here. Parker McDonald couldn't get it out. Al Langlois does. Del Vecchio at center. Trying to go through. Carl Brewer flicks it to Kelly for Eddie Shack. Over the line, and Gadsby makes sure of it to Parker McDonald. To Del Vecchio. Howe's loose on the right wing, but it's too far for him. Brewer shot it out. Del Vecchio at center. Pass to Parker McDonald. To Gordie Howe, to Parker McDonald. He shot it into the link zone. Bauer to Carl Brewer. Brewer, a pass for Mahavlich. It's stopped by Gadsby. Kelly to Mahavlich. Shot it to an open wing, and he's Shack. Hit by Langlois. Langlois went down. It goes into the corner. Mahavlich flicks it to Brewer. Brewer getting set. There's his shot. Hit Gordie Howe and deflects into the crowd. Off his skate.
Well, that insertion of Larry Hillman and Eddie Shack, two fresh players from the Leaf bench, has given them a little the territorial edge for the last few moments.
Three minutes and 21 seconds remaining in this third period. Stanley is shot. Knocked down by Barkley, who shot it down the ice. Tim Horton goes back for it. Horton clearing it out to Keon. Keon a pass for Billy Harris, and Jeffrey was there. Larry Jeffrey. Stopped by Keon. Now then, Doug Barkley moves up. Over the line, Stanley bumps into him. Two of them go down. Dave Keon gets away from Ullman. Coming up the center, a pass for Harris. It goes into the corner. Billy Harris is hit hard. Armstrong back to Stanley to Horton. His shot is wide. Floyd Smith clearing pass, and Jeffrey hooked up. Horton sticks, so it goes down the length of the ice, and it's icing called against the Red Wings.
Well, they're trying as hard as they can with what they've got left. But as this game goes on, they gave so much in that second period, 5 goals. And the one Toronto goal came early in the Bobby Bond back. He recovered fast. Came late in the first period. You know what a rugged performer that Bond is. My goodness, they carry him off on a stretcher. 5 minutes later, there he is at the blue line.
Bob Bond is back. And it goes back to Brewer. Brewer to Eamon. Eamon's shot was stopped. Bruce McGregor gets it out. Carl Brewer to Bob Pulford. Ron Stewart. Checked by Al Langlois. Langlois to Jeffrey. Over the blue line. Here's the shot. It goes to the corner. He's trying to center it. Ullman fights forward with Jeffrey and Brewer, and they all hold it there against the board. Well, now we have 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in regulation time. A 3-3 tie.
3 or 4 million Leaf fans across the country heaved a mighty sigh of relief when they saw Bobby Bond skate back out there.
Brewer will face off with Ullman, Jeffrey, and McGregor on the wings, Gadsby and Langlois. Eamon was inside the circle when they faced the puck off, so they'll do it all over again. All ready to go. Puck comes back to Gadsby. McGregor went down. Bob Pulford comes down the ice for the Leafs. Over the Detroit line, back to Stewart. Stewart took his shot, and Langlois breaks it up. Al Langlois, 4 Red Wings coming to center. A pass over to Jeffrey. He's over the line. A pass for Bruce McGregor and Ullman. Ullman shot it right on. Bruce McGregor trying to center it from behind the net. He's still got it. Shot it front, and Langlois couldn't keep it in. It went to the wrong side of him. He's expecting it off the board. Eman knocked it right onto Gadsby's stick. Bill Gadsby. Pass over to Jeffrey. He shoots it. Bauer caught it. Face off in the lead zone to the left. And we have a minute and 28 seconds left in regulation time. It's a 3-3 tie.
And they're digging down somewhere to find that tremendous effort for the closing stages of regulation time. They now look much, much fresher, all sides, than they did a few minutes ago.
Now set to go. Kelly clears it down the ice. It's going over the red line. Marcel Pronovo touches it. That means icing again against the Leafs.
Big Frank Mahovlich is about due to wind up for one of his great rushes, Bill. He's just been cruising around out there tonight.
Del Vecchio facing off with Stanley. Kelly gets the puck in the corner. Del Vecchio chopped it away from him, but couldn't center it. And the play is called. Face-off is in the circle to the left of Johnny Bauer. Here comes Ullman. Sid Abel's going to shoot the works here. Got Ullman, Howe, Del Vecchio, Gadsby, and Marcel Pronovo. The Red Wings are shooting the works here with Ullman going out, replacing Packer McDonald. A minute and 12 seconds remaining to play in regulation time. Face-off is in the Maple Leafs zone to the left. Red Wings playing every man up. Mahovlich shot it off the boards. Marcel Pronovo kept it in. Del Vecchio centered it in front. Stanley hit Ullman. Bauer clears it to Horton. It's clear to the blue line, but not out. Less than a minute to go in regulation time. Ullman shoots, and he shot it into the crowd.
As we start to total up the number of years that the Red Wings have National Hockey League experience on the ice right now, counting Terry Sawchuk in, you've got to come up with 85 or so. And the Leafs, of course, have got a lot of experience in Johnny Bauer and Alan Stanley and Red Kelly. They're making some switches now, but
Armstrong with Vaughn, Brewer, Kelly, and Keon. Howe, Del Vecchio, Ullman, Gadsby, and Marcel Pronovo. Dave Keon to Armstrong. It's kept in. Ullman took his shot. Bauer knocked it off to the wing. Keon was checked by Howe, centered it. Kelly clears it down the ice, and Ullman's going back for it. 35 seconds remaining in regulation time. Gadsby's pass for Del Vecchio. Broken up, then Ullman gets a try. He's checked. A pass over the Leaf line, and Brewer clears it out to Kelly. Kelly was knocked flat by Gadsby, and he's hurt. Kelly's hurt. Gets up on his feet.
In the sandwich there and did a complete flip before coming down, all 195 pounds smack on the frozen surface of the Olympia. As soon as he regained his senses and didn't hear the whistle, he started to scramble to get out. By that time, Buffy had blown the whistle because the play was coming back that way, and he saw Kelly lying there. Kelly skating around, trying to skate the numbness. He may have banged that left knee.
Face-off will be at the Detroit blue line. 16 seconds remaining. Regulation time. Ullman facing off with Keon. Kelly is still nursing that knee. Goes back to Stanley, shot it into the Detroit zone, and goes into the corner. 8 seconds as Ullman gets set. Goes over the line. Horton took it away from him. Has it off the boards out to center ice. 1 second. There goes the horn, and here we go in overtime. The first goal will end it. In just a moment, the two teams, the Maple Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings, are going to come out on the ice for the first overtime period. With the score tied 3-3 and the first goal ends it, Keith.
Well, 14 years ago tonight, Billy, in 1950, the Detroit Red Wings won the cup in an overtime game on Pete the Bando's goal. Here come the Maple Leafs. They're led by the inimitable Eddie Shack. He gets a roar even when he just fires the puck down the ice.
And here comes Terry Sawchuk now to the area to my left, the Leafs to the right. Overtime, first goal ends it.
This is the 120th overtime playoff goal since the league got sole possession of the cup in 1926. So that starts the 27th season. It's the 36th overtime game in the final series. And the last time we had 2 overtime games in a final series was in 1954. Gordie Howe, incidentally, with that goal, moves ahead of Geoffrion in the all-time Stanley Cup scoring race. He now has 57 goals, Geoffrion 56. He only has Richard to pass in that one, and Richard has 82. That's about the only mark that Gordie may leave the Rocket in the record books when he's finished.
All right, here we go. Eddie Joyelle starting for Detroit, number 21. Bruce McGregor is 16. Andre Pronovo, 15. Holford with Eamon and Stewart. It's shot back into the Leaf zone right from the faceoff. The Red Wings race in after it. Horton lost it. Stanley cleared it around to Eamon. Eamon flicked it out at center, intercepted by Marcel Pronovo. He clears it over the line. Eddie Joyelle takes a shot. Bauer snapped it. Here's Doug Barkley, a shot, and it's intercepted by Eamon to Fulford. And Stewart, one man back, over the line. Fulford is checked. Eamon couldn't get a shot. Back for Detroit, stopped by Stanley. Eamon to Stewart. Stopped by Doug Barkley. Bruce McGregor's check. Fulford for Eamon. Doug Barkley shoots it out. Alan Stanley. Checked by Joyelle. 2 men going in, 1 man back. Here's Joyelle. Pass for Andre Pronovo, and Horton broke it up. And it's cleared out to center ice. Doug Barkley with it. A long shot. Fulford back. Cleared off the boards. Floyd Smith kept it in. Eddie Joyelle. Joyelle takes his backhand. Bauer knocked it into the corner. Bob Fulford. Off the boards. Floyd Smith takes his shot wide. Al Stanley to Eamon. Up for Fulford. Stopped by Marcel Pronovo. He's checked by Eamon. Now then Stewart and Eamon over the blue line, and it's shot out again to center ice. And the tension is terrific here in the Olympia. Doug Barkley a pass, Eddie Joyelle, and that is offside. Inside the blue line and over that red line. We've played 1 minute and 33 seconds of the first overtime.
And as the night wears on, Bill, you're going to earn your paycheck tonight.
Bob Bond shot from inside the blue line, popped into the top corner, and it's all over. We'll get the official scoring play. Bob Bond, who was hurt at the 13:15 mark of the third period when he hurt his right ankle, came back, played in the latter stages of the period, and then got into the overtime and fired for the winning goal. We're waiting for the official time of the goal. Bob Bond scored the winning goal in overtime. Bob Bond, number 21.
And, of course, even this partisan crowd has to give Bob a hand after the way he came back from what looked like a very severe injury. When you're carted off on the stretcher and in obvious pain, I would suspect he had a shot in that ankle.
Well, a tremendously tense hockey game ended in dramatic fashion, 1:43 of the overtime period. And we're going to show you the winning goal now. And it was one of those real fluky shots that usually decide these overtime games. Bobby Bonds sliced the puck from just inside the blue line and took a crazy hop and into the top of the net for the winning goal. Well, the final score, 4-3 for Toronto. The series all tied up 3-3. Back to Toronto for Saturday night's deciding game. And now, Ward Cornell.
With us now, the number 1 star, Bobby Bond. Congratulations, Bob. A terrific hockey game.
Really exciting hockey game.
Was it as exciting for you out there as it was for us watching?
Oh, I think so. I think that was our big one. We haven't played too well this series. I think we've been just playing mediocre hockey, and I hope we get going now.
Bob, now on your injury, what happened, first of all, to you, and how did it happen?
I blocked a shot in front of the net during killing the penalty, and I was numb then, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then when I went into the face-off with Gordie Howe, I just heard a snap, and it caved in underneath me. And I tried to get up, and there's no way I could put any weight on it. So that was the story then, and they froze my leg then, and it's all right now. Of course, I can't feel it.
The freezing in it, naturally. You have no idea what it is? Is it a ligament or a muscle or what?
No, it could be a pinched nerve. This will happen sometimes with a pinched nerve, I guess, similar to what Terry Sawchuk had. And it should be straightened out. All right, no problems.
Stan, anything to add?
It was quite a game.
Well, congratulations again, Bobby.
Thanks very much.
And you've set the stage, of course. Incidentally, on that final shot, did it bounce?
I think it took a hop just in front of the net. I'm not sure. As long as it went in, that's all I care.
Well, you've certainly set the stage for an exciting climax to this year's Stanley Cup come Saturday night. Our 3 stars again, Bond, Pulford, Stewart, and once again the final score, Toronto 4, Detroit 3.